We shouldn't have any dog issues today because I've put her in the bathroom. She, the last couple times I've had yoga, I've tried to put her in this bedroom over here to the left. And she barks about something at some point. And then last night she was traipsing around upstairs getting into business, so we put her in the bathroom. So I think she's going to be chill. So that's all I care about. So I brought to my practice today, I did bring a set of blocks and I brought a strap. The strap isn't absolutely necessary. We're only using it for one thing, but it is going to be nice. So even if you have a bathrobe or something, that would be cool. You don't have to have the blocks. The only reason I have the blocks is to elevate my feet because my chair is just a little bit too tall for me. I realized last week when I was doing chair yoga in this chair that I just don't have very long legs and they weren't touching the floor. But if you're comfortable in your chair, you don't actually need the blocks. So go ahead and sit all the way back in your chair, pulling your shoulder blades back against the back of your chair to support you. And just start to get into your breath. Place your hands on top of your thighs and inhale through the belly. Exhaling out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now let's take time to focus on what we call the full yogic breath. And when we do our full yogic breath, we're drawing in air, expanding the belly, expanding our lower ribs, our upper ribs, growing the breath into the chest and widening the collarbones, and then drawing the breath all the way to the crown of the head. Hold for a moment at the top, and then we will reverse all of that. Inhale. Stop at the crown of the head. Exhale. Pause at the bottom. Inhale with control. Pause at the top. Exhale. Pause at the bottom. Inhale. Pause at the top. Exhale. Pause at the bottom. Inhale. Pause at the top. Exhale. Starting with your head in a neutral position, so stacked just perfectly over your shoulders. Go ahead and inhale. Exhale your chin to your chest. Inhale it backwards, leading with the chin. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Tilting backwards. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale back to neutral. And let's look from side to side. So inhale to the right. And then exhale to the left. Just isolating your movement of looking backwards. Looking to the left and the right, Exhale to the left. Inhale to the right. Exhale to the left. Inhale to the right. Exhale to the left. Inhale to neutral. Fully exhale. Inhale. Drop your chin to your chest. And then on the inhale, roll to the right. And then exhale, roll back down to the right. Go ahead and repeat that 3 or 4 times. Pausing at the back before you turn to the right and go back down. Stop at the bottom. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale to the left. Pausing at the back. And then exhale down to the left. You might find this side feels different. You might have greater tenseness here. Tension. I make up words all the time. We talk too much. I don't know about you, but I have eternal tension in my neck and shoulders. All right, so now that we arrive at the bottom, that's been about 5 breaths. Let's go ahead and do complete circles if it feels good to you. So inhale, exhale, and then inhale to the right. Switching over to exhaling on the left as you bring your chin back down to your chest. Continue that circular motion, inhaling to the right. Stopping at the back and then exhaling down to the left. Inhaling to the right. Exhaling to the left and down. And then inhaling to the right. Exhaling to the left and down. When we arrive at the bottom, we're going to reverse that. Inhale to the left. Exhale to the right and down. Inhale to the left. Exhale to the right and down. Inhale to the left. Exhale to the right and down. Inhale to the left. Exhale to the right and down. Place your left hand on the chair or the invisible floor next to the chair if you want. Tilt your head to the right, creating space between your left ear and your left shoulder. Just holding that while you push your left hand down and tilt your head to the right. One more breath. And then on the exhale, bring your head up to neutral. Take your right hand and place it on that invisible floor next to you. And just push that floor away as you'll tilt your head to the left, creating space between your right shoulder and your right ear. Breathing deeply. One more breath. And then exhale, return to neutral. I'm going to move slightly forward in my chair. My buttocks will still be fully on the chair, but my thighs are now off the chair. And we're going to move into seated cat-cow. Just nice to warm up the spine first thing in the morning. So you can place your hands on top of your thigh or even grab your knee if that works for you. And go ahead and inhale, moving your belly forward, pushing your chair behind you, pulling your shoulders away from your ears and down your back. And then on the exhale, reverse that, pulling the back of your spine towards the back of the chair, tilting your tailbone forward, pulling the chin to the chest. Inhale, reverse that, shining your heart center forward, leaving your tailbone behind you, arching your back. And then exhale, reverse that, pulling the spine back towards the chair. Inhale, pulling the belly through, shining the chest as you pull your shoulders back and down. And then exhale, reverse that. Oh, what a nice way to wake up the spine. And then inhale, pull the belly through, pulling the shoulders back and down, hips behind you. One more time of that, it feels so good. Reversing that spine to the back of the chair. And then inhale, pull your chest through, pull your belly through, shoulders back and down. And then exhale, return to neutral. You might move to your chair just a little bit, one side or the other. I'm moving slightly to my right as I place my left hand on the chair, sweeping my right hand overhead to create a seated Artichandrasana side stretch. Just increasing that stretch as much as you can from your weight, from your hips, all the way to your side body, to your waist. Pull your right shoulder slightly back to shine your chest towards the ceiling. Create space to breathe. Each time you breathe in, extend your hand long. And as you exhale, peel your shoulders slightly back. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, pulling your shoulder back. And then inhale, reaching. Exhale, bring that arm out and back down. Move to the other side of the chair slightly to give yourself room. Place your hand on the chair. Sweep your left hand out and overhead. Side stretch on the left side. Reaching long. And then exhale, peeling your left shoulder slightly back to expose your heart center to the ceiling. Inhale, reach. Exhale, peeling back. Inhale, reach. Exhale, peeling it back. Inhale, reach. Exhale. One more inhale. And then exhale, bring your hand down to the chair. Return back to the center of your chair. Inhale your hands overhead. Exhale your hands down. As you reach your hands overhead, try to make your collarbones as wide as you can. Create as much extension as you can from the crown to the tail. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more inhale. And then on your exhale, I'm going to cue you to lean forward on top of your legs. This is like our first forward fold. We kind of mimic what we do standing up. But it's really easy to overextend the spine first thing in the morning when we're just waking. So if you just lay across your thighs, you can allow your hands to dangle down. This is why I like having these blocks, because it really creates a nice platform for me. And then just enjoy that forward stretch. You can drop your crown to the floor if you want to, or you can leave it moving forward.
You're getting your extension from here, not from here.
And then inhale, reverse that swan dive by pulling your hands out to the side, rising up with a straight back. Inhale all the way to the top. And then exhale back down on top of your thighs, hands reaching for your feet. Inhale, reverse that, going all the way up to the top. And then exhale, back down. Inhale, back up. And then exhale, back down. Place your hand kind of in the center of your feet. So have a little bit of space on your feet. Place your hand in the center. Place your right hand on your right hip. So your left hand is down, your right hip is up. Your right hip is up. Don't move your right arm. Just keep it on the hip. And then just look over your right shoulder. That should create a stretch along your right hip. Starting with a little baby twist this morning. And just breathe into that sensation. You're not torquing your spine very much. You're just opening things up. And then exhale, place your right hand between your feet on the floor. Place your left hand. You can tighten your hand too if it's too hard to have the palm down on the floor. So I've got my fingers like in a spider. Place your left hand on your left hip and just look over your left shoulder. Again, just a very gentle twist. Nothing harsh. Chair yoga is about all being kind to the body. Everything is gentle. One more inhale. And then exhale, unravel your twist. If you have a belt, what did I do with mine, or a strap, the next part that we're going to do, we're just going to take our strap, place it down at the bottom of our foot, and just pull up the sides of the strap so they're up by the leg. And then go ahead and lift your right leg straight out in front of you. So all we're doing with this strap, actually, and you might adjust it even so that it's more around the ball of your foot, the front of your foot. All we're doing with this morning is we're going to point our toes into it and then pull them back. So we're doing an exercise that is good for the foot. Ooh, and I just released it. It's good for the foot and it's good for strengthening the ankle. I have a friend who sprained her ankle, and I've been telling her about the importance of these exercises to build up her ligaments again. As you know, if she'd actually broken her ankle, it probably would be healed by now. But sprains take a long time to heal because they involve tearing of those soft tissues. And hers was apparently a very bad sprain. So just push, using resistance that you've created with the strap, push against the strap with the ball of your foot, and then pulling the strap back, which creates a nice stretch along the Achilles tendon. And at the same time, you're engaging your core muscle, your core muscles, your quadriceps. So you're getting a little bit of warm up of that leg just by doing this. And if you feel like that's enough, we can change feet. So go ahead and place your right foot down. Put the strap underneath your left foot. Like I said, it's easier if you put it on the ball of your foot, so it kind of crushes your pinky toe. Lift up your left foot. So all you're doing is just, your leg is bent and you're straightening your leg and you're keeping your foot at chair height. And then just point, flexing the foot through the ball joint, just backwards and forwards. You can certainly do this without the strap if you don't have a strap, but the resistance you get from the strap is really cool. So this is also kind of comparable to that exercise when you stand on the edge of a stair and you lift up and down, only without having to balance and fall over. So that's kind of cool. All righty, and if you feel like you've done enough of that, you can place your left foot down. And then go ahead and just take your hands, place them underneath your right thigh, lift up your right leg. So right now your ankle is just dangling there in space. Just do some ankle rolls. I'm rolling to the inside. And then you can reverse that, roll to the outside. Show those feet a little bit of love. And go ahead and place that down, and we'll do that on the other side. Lift up your left leg, allow your foot to dangle, and then just start doing ankle rolls. And then reverse that. Very nice. Go ahead and place both feet on the floor. Lift up your right leg, clasp your right knee, and pull it nice and tight against the chest. It's a little bit of a hip release. You'll feel a pinch in your hip. Make sure you're sitting nice and tall, but just create that little pinch. It's okay. And then place your left hand on your left thigh, your right hand in front of your knee, and let's just pull that leg out. Just creating a little hip opening, and then bring it back to the center. And then inhale it out, keeping your hips stationary, pulling it to the center, pulling it out, and then pulling it to the center, pulling it out, pulling it to the center, and then one more time, pulling it out. And then on the exhale, cross that over your left leg. And if it's available to you, you can even clip underneath your left leg. So this is like eagle legs. You've probably done eagle standing. We're doing it sitting. Then take your arms, so place your arms in front of you like robot arms. Take your right arm and put it underneath your left arm, and then place your palms of your hands together. And so now we are in seated eagle. This provides a wonderful stretch along the back of the shoulders. And the way that you increase that stretch is by raising your arms more, gazing beyond your hands at a fixed point. Eagle is a wonderful pose to get your mind into a meditative state. And you can even bow your eagle if you want to. So you can move your elbows towards your knees and fold over your legs. One more inhale and exhale. And then inhale, rise up. Exhale, gently unravel your arms. Gently unravel your legs. Place your right foot down. Pick up your left foot, grabbing your knee, keeping your right hand on your right thigh. Inhale, move your leg out. Oh, we didn't pinch it against our body yet. Sorry about that. Let's pull it up against the chest first and do that hip release. Just breathe into that as you pull it tightly against the chest. And now place your hand on the front of your knee, your right hand on top of your right leg. Pull your left leg out to the side on the inhale. On the exhale, bring it to the center. Make sure to keep your hip stationary as you're moving it because we are using this as a hip opener. Inhale to the left. Exhale to the center. Inhale to the left. Exhale to the center. Inhale to the left. Exhale to the center. One more inhale to the left. And then on the exhale, take your left leg, cross it over your right. If it's available, you can tuck your toes behind your calf, or you can just leave it hanging. That's okay too. And then create your robot arms again. Take your left arm and place it underneath your right, clasping your hands together, palms facing one another at the top. To increase that stretch, like we said, you lift up your arms and lift them away from the body. And find a fixed point beyond your hands to stare at. We call that the Dristy Gaze. And if you want, you can fold your eagle in towards the body, bringing your elbows down to your legs. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, gently unravel your arms and then gently unravel your legs. Yay! So now we're going to move into what are some familiar standing poses, but we're doing them from a seated position. It's really wonderful. You know, one could think that chair yoga is just all gentle and not really taxing to the body or challenging, but it can be actually. So what we're going to do is I'm going to ask you to turn to the front of your chair, or to the side of your chair, I'm sorry. So I'm turning to my left side. So you're leaving your left thigh in firm contact with the chair. Take your right thigh behind you. You might need to adjust a little bit based upon the width of your seat, and just have your toes touching the floor behind you, and your leg is straight. It's like you are in a lunge, only you're fully supported by the chair. Now, if your chair is kind of tall like mine is, I'm having to use my hands to support me, but I'm still actively engaging all of my right leg and starting to open up the front of my right hip while I'm doing this. And my energy focus is on pulling my chest high up to the ceiling, creating a little bit of an arch in the back while I'm doing that. So I'm also engaging all of those muscles of the spine. And that's pretty dang cool that you can get all those muscles engaged while you are sitting in a chair. Activate your quadriceps by pulling your kneecap up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. And then exhale, release that. Move to the center of your chair, switch sides. So now we're facing the left. Pull our left leg out behind us, toes to the floor. Leg is strong and straight behind us. Lift up into that. I've got my hands on the chair. You can have your hands overhead if you prefer, but this is really nice. So legs straight and strong behind you, opening up your left hip, rising your chest to the ceiling, curling back just a little bit, pulling our shoulders back and away from our ears. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, keep your legs straight and strong. Exhale. Inhale, pulling your kneecap up to engage your quadricep muscles. Exhale. One more inhale. Exhale. Very nice. Now we're going to do a warrior 1, 2, and reverse warrior series. So go ahead and place your right foot behind you, parallel. If you have a mat, you probably don't, but pretend you do. Parallel with what would be the right side of your mat, just like if you were in regular warrior 1. And then go ahead and adjust yourself on the chair in a way that you feel supported, okay? So once again, rising the chest up, engaging all of these muscles in the back of your hips and your back to keep you lifted up. And then go ahead and rise your hands up. Seal the back of your foot into the floor behind you. And then focus on pulling your shoulders down away from your ears, rotating your pinkies inward while your hands are above the head. If your hands need to be slightly forward because you don't have that mobility in your shoulders, that is perfectly acceptable. But focusing on pulling our shoulders down our back and away from our ears. One more inhale. And then on the exhale, bring your hands out to the side, kind of pulling your body forward now. So now we are in warrior 2. And still concentrate on strengthening your right leg while you're doing this. Lifting your body up, your hands are parallel to the floor, equal on the left side versus the right side. And if you want, you can pull your shoulder blades together and look out over your left fingertips. One more inhale. And then exhale, reverse your warrior. So you're bringing your left hand up to the ceiling and you're allowing your right arm to rest on your right leg, reaching for the ceiling to increase that stretch along the left side. Inhaling evenly and exhaling evenly with control. One more inhale, reach. And then on the exhale, place your forearm on your left thigh. Try to use your energy of your leg to further move your left thigh towards the back of your chair. Your right foot is still stationary, sealed onto the floor. We're moving into side angle pose. So you can keep your hand on your right hip if you want, or you can bring it overhead, which increases the stretch of your side body. And then shine your heart center towards the ceiling, pulling your right shoulder backwards. So you're firmly supported with your forearm on your left thigh, pulling your left ear away from your left shoulder. On your right side, you're peeling your right shoulder back as you're increasing that stretch all on the right side. And the more you open up the chest, the more space you create for breathing. And yoga is all about the breath with the movement. Without the breath, you shouldn't have movement. Meaning, always honor the breath. The breath is king. One more inhale, reach. And then exhale, return back to warrior two arms. Bring your right foot to the center. Switch your body, lower your arms down. Let's do a couple of shoulder rolls. That was actually a lot of shoulder work. I'm telling you, first time I did chair yoga in my training program, I always thought it was really easy. I thought, oh, you can really make it an opportunity for wonderful extension, and it's also a great opportunity to practice alignment. All righty. So now we're going to go to the right. So go ahead and turn your body to the right-hand side. Place your left foot behind you in that warrior one. So you've got your foot kind of, it doesn't have to be parallel behind you, but your heel is on the floor. The outside of your left foot is sealed onto the floor. It is pointed towards the front of the chair, slightly out to the side. It can be parallel with the mat if that's available to you, or slightly turned forward, whatever works for you. And then go ahead and adjust yourself in a way on the chair that's comfortable to you. And then let's bring our arms up overhead in warrior one. Again, if you need to have your hands slightly forward, that's acceptable. Not everybody has that shoulder mobility. Pull your ears away from or shoulders away from the ears, pulling your shoulders down your back, rotating your pinkies inward. Focusing on creating extension with that strength. Your left leg is strong behind you. One more inhale, reach. And then exhale, open up into warrior two arms. You might have to adjust slightly so that you can have the front of your torso facing the front. And again, we've got our hands parallel to the floor, both at shoulder height. Focusing on drawing your right leg back towards the back of the chair. Opening up the pelvis, opening up the hips. Strengthening using all the muscles of your piriformis, the back of your hips, your gluteus, using those muscles to pull your right leg towards the back of the chair. Sitting nice and tall, drawing the crown of your head towards the ceiling. One more inhale. And on the exhale, tilt that backwards so that your left arm is resting on your left leg as you reach for the ceiling. But when you tilt, remember to continue to maintain that space, keeping your torso nice and tall. Breathing deeply. One more inhale. And on the exhale, rest your right forearm on your right knee. Again, continuing to pull your right leg towards the back of the chair. Pulling your right ear away from your right shoulder. And then rise up your left arm. Bring it overhead if you want. And then just work that by pulling your left shoulder back, shining your heart center towards the ceiling. Lift it up away from the thigh, while at the same time pulling your right shoulder away from the right ear. pulling your shoulders down your back. One more inhale, reaching. And then exhale, let's return back to those warrior two arms. Reorganize ourselves slowly so that we can be facing the front of the chair. And then go ahead and let's do those shoulder rolls again, because that was a lot of involvement of the shoulders. And then go ahead and reverse your shoulder roll. Let's take our right hand across our chest, taking our left hand and pulling against the elbow, creating a nice stretch along the front. I hear my cat playing with a toy. We have these little, they're called guinea pigs. They're little fuzzy mouse looking toys, and he flings them all over the house. He's a kitten still. He's only about 8 months old. All righty, go ahead and release that. Lift your arm up overhead, pat your back, and then take your left hand and just slightly pull your elbow back to increase that gorgeous stretch along the underside of the arm. Very nice. Go ahead and unravel that. Take your left arm across your chest, pulling with your right hand against the elbow. Keep your body stationary when you do these stretches so that you're not like turning your body into the stretch, which will defeat the purpose of it. So keep your body stationary as you're pulling your arm against the body. One more inhale. And then go ahead and bring your arm up, pat your back. Take your right hands and press against your elbow, moving backwards to stretch out the underside of your left arm. One more inhale. And then on the exhale, take your hands, clasp them behind you, down by your hips, and pull your shoulders back as you're rising your chest up to the ceiling. So we're setting up for what they call needle pose. So we're creating like a needle or blade, they call it blade pose also. We're creating like a blade of grass with our arms. So we always start off with first opening up the chest. If your hands are able to clasp behind you, so the way that mine look is like this, and you're able to open up your shoulders, that's a good sign. If you're not able to do that, then you are certainly free to just grab the back of the chair and use the back of the chair in the same way without clasping your hands. But if your hands are clasped, then I'll advise you to inhale your chest up, and then exhale, start to fold over your legs. And while you're doing that, bring your arms up. So just lay your torso across your thighs. Don't bend any deeper. And this is an amazing shoulder opening stretch. And just make sure you don't overextend your back right now because it's still morning. The vertebrae are still waking up. The muscles and the ligaments are still waking up. We're still bringing fluid into our joints. Inhale. And then exhale in unison. Rise up the chest as you lower your hands down. Take your right ankle and cross it over your left leg. So we're doing like a seated pigeon here. And you might find that first opening like this of the day, you're a little stiff. I know that I am. So if you want to, you can support your right knee with your right hand. You can even support your left ankle with your left hand. Focus on flexing the foot and pulling your toes back towards your knee. That keeps the ankle and the knee safer. This might be your pose, just sitting up like this alone. Or if you want, you can start to lean into the thigh. But as you lean in, just allow your body to open up in its own way. Don't force anything. Don't pull into it. Allow your body to fall towards your leg. And just allow it to just keep on breathing gently, allowing your body to fold in. Go ahead and on the inhale, rise up gently. Go ahead and cross your right leg over your left. Place your left hand on your knee, slightly to the outside of it. And then let's just do a gentle twist. You can grab the back of your chair. You can place your hand on the seat on the back, whatever works for you, but don't muscle into it. Just gently turn, looking over your right shoulder. One more inhale. And then exhale, unravel that. Place your right foot on the floor. And then take your left foot, crossing your left ankle over your right leg. Once again, if you want to, you can support your knee with your left hand. You can support your foot with your right hand. Flex your foot and pull your pinky toes back towards your knee. So when you do that, that encourages protection of the knee. Inhale into a tall spine. And then exhale, gently folding forward, allowing your body to descend in its own timing, using the breath to guide you. Just breathing gently and allowing the body to gently fall down towards your leg. Okay, let's inhale up with a straight spine, gently up. Exhale, allow your left leg to cross over your right, placing your right hand on the outside of your left knee, and begin your twist by either grabbing the back of your chair or placing your hand on the seat behind you. Whatever works. Gentle twist, looking out over your left shoulder. One more inhale. And then exhale, unravel that. So before we settle into what we call Savasana, I'm going to move all of my little props out of the way. We're going to do one more pose, but this one will be standing. And this one will be using our chair for downward dog. So you can stand behind your chair. I'm going to turn mine to the right to do it. And so stand with your hands on the back of your chair. And then go ahead and move your feet out, hip width apart, and then just move your hips backwards, creating like a letter L with the body. Move your hips back in space, pull your belly button into the spine, and allow a full stretch of the shoulders as you allow your chest center to start to move towards the floor, just like you would in a regular downward dog. And just like you would in a regular downward dog, engage your Mula Bandha, which is your root lock, and engage your Uddiyana Bandha, which is your lock at your belly button, pulling your belly button into the spine. And just enjoy this full body stretch along your armpits, the front of your shoulders, the back of your legs.
Brennan.
And then inhale, exhale, pushing those hips back. One last stretch. And then inhale, rise up. And then go ahead and turn your chair around. And we're going to lay down and go into our Shavasana. But this is a nice treat, actually. What you're going to do is place your feet on top of the chair, having your calves on top of the chair. Go ahead and lay down. Go ahead and organize yourself in such a way that you can get your hips nice and comfortable. Organize your shoulders so that your back can sit firmly on the floor. And just start getting into this breath, gentle breathing in and out. You don't need to force it. Starting to wind down at the end of this gentle practice. And we'll go ahead and do a scan of the body to prepare you for Shavasana. So first, draw attention to your feet. Go ahead and relax your feet. Draw attention to your ankles and your calf muscles. Release any tension you may be holding there. Draw attention to your knees and your thighs. Release any energy you may be holding there. Drawing attention to your hips and your belly, your low back. And focus on letting go. Drawing attention to your core muscles and your chest, your shoulders. Relax your hands and your forearms, and your upper arms. Allow your shoulders to become heavy on the floor, widening the collarbones. Relax all of your neck muscles in the back and in the front. And then relax your facial muscles and your jaw. Relax the skin across the top of your nose and relax out the crinkles in your forehead, widening your eyebrows. And relax all the skin on top of the head. And you'll stay in Savasana for about 5 minutes. While you're in Savasana, I'll bring to you a reading from the Daily Om. It takes a sensitive ear to tune in to the silence of the heart, but it is there in each one of us. We spend a lot of time attempting to put the feelings in our hearts into words, to communicate to others our passions, our emotions, and our love. Often we are so busy trying to translate our heart's roar into language that we miss the most profound experience the heart has to offer, which is silence. Every poem arises from this silence and returns to it. When all the songs have been sung, the soliloquies delivered, the emotions expressed, silence is what remains. As each wave of feeling rises and falls back into the silence, we have an opportunity to connect with the vast, open, powerfully healing wisdom at the soundless center of our heart. Our hearts may seem noisy and tumultuous so much of the time that we do not even associate them with silence. It takes a sensitive ear to tune into the silence of the heart, but it is there in each one of us, so close and so large that we do not even notice it. We can begin to become aware of it in the same way we become aware of the negative space in still life, the background of a photograph or the open sky that contains the sun, clouds, moon, and stars. We are accustomed to tuning into objects and sounds that are one-pointed, solid, and three-dimensional. Seeing and hearing the apparently empty space that contains these sounds and objects takes a little practice. We can bring our awareness into our hearts by simply breathing into the general area of our heart. The first thing we may notice is feelings like joy or sadness and physical sensations like tightness or tenderness. We acknowledge that these, as we continue to breathe and focus, listening attentively. We surround these feelings and sensations with breath and recognize that they are contained and held in an immeasurable substance like water or air, intangible, ineffable, but utterly real. This is the silence of the heart, and the more we listen for it, return to it, and accept it, the more we bathe and purify ourselves in the soundless center of our being. Continue to rest in Savasana. I will bring you back in with the chant of a bell.
It used to be everyone's stuffs, but it's just be me. What the? What was that sound?
I'm going to invite you to start to awaken to the body and come back into the present. You might unravel by pulling your legs down off the chair, rolling over to one side or the other. And just breathing for a moment. And when you feel ready, join me in a seated position. You can be seated on your chair, on the floor, whatever works best for you. I'm in my chair. Inhale your hands up. Exhale your hands down. Inhale your hands up. Exhale your hands down. Inhale your hands up. Exhale your hands to your forehead and to your heart center. Bowing into your hands. Thank you for waking up with me this morning. I've been doing the last two chair yoga routines alone, holding the space, knowing that eventually someone would come on. And so what a joy it's been to have you there. And I think that was your son, correct? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's nice. So the light in me, of course, sees the light in you. The yogi in me honors the yogi in you. Namaste. So hopefully that'll set a nice tone for the beginning of your week.
I think I'm waking Milo up. I think he'll really enjoy it. And then I'll be breakfast on Mondays.
Yeah, it was nice to hear the family in the background. Good morning. How are you doing? That kid never has a shirt on.
Yeah, sometimes get it on him, and then as soon as we're home, he's like, off.
Yep.
Yeah, he's fine. We're done.
All right, cool.
Can you say good
Good morning, Kathleen.
morning?
If you have a wonderful day. I'm going to go take my shower now, and I'm working at home today, but I'm bound and determined to be productive. So. All right, guys, you have a good one.
See you tonight, right?
Bye.
Yep, 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock tonight for meditation.
All right.
Okay, bye-bye.